As part of an intriguing card of fights that are slated for Saturday, May 3rd, with the main feature being Canelo Alvarez versus William Skull, there's a rematch at 168 pounds, the super middleweight division, where we'll get a chance to see Jaime Munguia return against Bruno Surace. These two faced one another in a bout that took us back to December of 2024. And in that fight, Surace, who's from France, came in with a record of 25-0, 2 KOs, 25-0 with 2 draws, 5 KOs, and was relatively unknown. However, by the end of that evening in Tijuana, Mexico, he was more than known, because after being down in round 2, Surace was able to get off the canvas and continue to box Jaime, who was on an aggressive path. I had said during the original fight that I felt like Jaime was playing with his food a little bit, because after he dropped Surace, he didn't press for the knockout, but he seemingly allowed Surace to get himself together and come back in the fight where he was once again competing. And in the fateful 6th round, as Jaime was moving in, Surace caught him with a counter right hand that hit Jaime on the chin, dropping him instantly. But not only was he dropped, he was actually hurt from that shot. It was a double effect. As Jaime was stepping in, Surace threw the shot and it connected right on his chin, and he went down in a heap flat on his back. He tried to rouse and make it inside the count, but he was in no shape. Once he arose to his feet, the referee waved the fight off. Jaime Munguia was knocked out for the first time in his career. Surace wasn't noted as a puncher, but there's something special about this situation because he's an orthodox fighter, the same height as Jaime, and 2 years younger at the age of 26. Munguia was coming off of a fight where he had been in against some lower opposition. He had Eric Bazinian, where he stopped, coming off of his May 2024 fight against Saul Canelo Alvarez. There was no fighter on Surace's dossier that told you that he would be such a threat to Jaime Munguia. In fact, because this bout was held originally in Tijuana, Munguia's hometown, it was thought of as a showcase, a homecoming of sorts for the former champion. But see, therein lies the trap. Oftentimes when fighters call themselves returning home to give the hometown folk an opportunity to see them work their magic, fights have a tendency to be a little bit tougher than they anticipated. So we now have this rematch, and Surace is well known now and well scouted. The thing is, will Jaime be able to have recovered from the knockout? There's something about a fighter being knocked out for the first time. Sometimes they don't return to the ring as they were once noted. It may take a little time for them to turn that corner and get rid of the notion that they were once stopped. Sometimes there's a drop in confidence, a sort of a gun-shy type approach. And then other fighters have been noted to just get right back into the mix of things. Where I feel that this differs regarding Munguia is he's had a number of fights where he's taken punishment in fights. I recall his fight in June of 2023 when he was taking on Sergey Devastaing. And though he won a unanimous decision, I felt that Devastaing deserved that decision in that fight. And as he was hitting Munguia, I remarked that Munguia's head was snapping back like a bobblehead doll. He was taking a lot of punches. And he seemingly has done that for his career. It's just that no one has been able to break the marble. Well, Surace found it. But I do believe it's a double effect again. The fact that Jaime has been in some tough matches and he has taken a lot of punches. And then this was the one that finally got in to do some serious damage. His record now is 44-2 with 35 KOs. So out of the 2 losses to Canelo Alvarez and now Surace, he's been stopped only once by Surace. But will he be able to be the same fighter that he was noted as? And in a way, he doesn't want to be the same guy who got stopped in December. He's going to have to show some improvement. And if he's not capable of showing the improvement, Surace could walk away with another victory. But I do expect Jaime to have game planned for a couple of different things. One is to try to execute a better boxing plan and scheme to try and outbox Surace, who doesn't have quite the fight experience that he has, nor the quality of opposition. So that can be exploited if there is patience from the Munguia camp. However, Surace, knowing that he was able to get to Munguia's chin, could be looking for a similar result, but through a different means. It's going to be real tricky. The second way that Munguia can come through with this situation is to go after Surace right away. Either way, it's going to put him in a position where he's going to receive contact and he's going to have to execute in an effective manner. If he's not effective, it's going to be for naught, because though the fight is scheduled for 12 rounds, these guys will have to conserve energy. They're going to have to conserve their stamina and be sharp. This is not a time to take stupid risks, but to be able to fight with intelligence. And Surace showed some moxie and intelligence in their first go-round. It was Munguia who was reckless. Can he be drawn into that again? We'll have to see. But I find it a very intriguing matchup, and there needs to be some questions answered by Munguia and his camp. But what do you think? This is Stormy B Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts about this rematch and what do you think may take place. I think it's going to be an excellent opportunity for both guys to prove their wares. But who will prevail? We don't know. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.